Nigeria's rainy season alert. Many states on high flood alert as NIMET predicts widespread flooding. Nigerian air travelers reminded of strict rules on prohibited items on board flights for safety and security reasons. Plus, securing the future of Nigeria's younger generation, stakeholders urge implementation of skills-based curriculum for a brighter tomorrow. Hello and a warm welcome to the Correspondents this week. As always, the program promises to be educative and engaging. I am Zenret Dingmun. Thanks for being there. We begin with flooding. Nigeria's peak rainy season unleashes widespread flooding and 27 states are under threat as Nigerian Hydrological Service warnings spark government response scrutiny. Musa Baba Aliu takes it from here.
Devastating floods fueled by heavy rainfall, dam failures and clogged drainage systems are wreaking havoc across Nigeria, with 27 states facing imminent danger. The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency has issued an urgent warning highlighting the risk to 739 communities across 162 local government areas between July 2022 and August 5. This year alone, Nigeria has endured two catastrophic floods. On May 28, a flood in Mokwa, Niger State, claimed 200 lives and left over 600 people missing. More recently, in July 26, flood in Adamawa killed 23 and many still unaccounted for. Experts attribute the escalating crisis to a combination of natural factors like prolonged rainfall and human activities, including dam mismanagement and urban development obstructing water flow. Professor Meiro Mohammed of the Federal University of Technology, Mina, emphasized the need for robust measures to combat worsening weather patterns driven by global warming.
There is need for tree planting so that our environment will be kind of safe. The more the number of trees, the more water infiltrates into the soil. And then this will also reduce the amount of runoff we have everywhere, whether they are shorter trees or tall trees. People need to be sensitized not to build houses along waterways.
Authorities and communities must act swiftly to mitigate the crisis and protect lives.
Now, Musa Baba Aliu joins us to discuss more on the devastation of flood. Thanks for honoring our invitation again, Musa.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
All right. Now, let's begin by, with this. From information you have gathered so far, can you tell us how governments at all levels and the private sector are collaborating to enhance flood mitigation efforts in Nigeria?
Okay, first of all, let's just look at the current situation in the country, this 2025 flood. The dashboard of the National Emergency Management Agency and the Hydrological Services have shown that the country has recorded several cases of flood this year, 2015. And so far, about 134,000 people have been affected in 20 local government areas across the country. And looking at the dashboard as at Monday last week, about 94 people are already missing. They don't know where they are at right now. Right now, they were affected and they were missing, unaccounted for. And they have recorded about 191 people that lost their lives as a result of the flood. And also, about 48,000 people have been displaced, just according to the NIMET dashboard, according to the NEMA dashboard.
Okay.
And also, 9,000 houses have been affected. And Adamawa states have the highest number of victims. And women and children also were the most affected people. So flood is continue to ravage the country. There are so many cases. The rain is coming with high intensity, and also the moisture on the ground too is really affecting or making the flood to be more serious. But now for government, you know, at the beginning of the year, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency gave out details on how the rain pattern will look like in February this year.
Okay.
The Nigerian Hydrological Services in March also gave out a flood outlook, how the flood will look like, and also putting almost 30 states on alert. So the government at the national level have done their best in highlighting and educating the people and telling them this is what the weather will look like this year. However, the states and the local government areas, the information from what we gathered at the grassroots is not reaching those who should have taken measures to protect themselves against the weather.
Okay, now talking about people taking responsibility, let's talk about community engagement. Now the government is doing its own part. What do you think people can do on their own levels, community levels and individual levels, to ensure that this does not, occur, even if it does, maybe not as severe as we hope it does not?
You see, flood, the way it is, it comes as a result of natural occurrence in some cases. The heavy rainfall that we talk about, then the erosion control, lack of erosion control, or due to heavy downpour or soil degradation. Those are the natural causes that are also bringing flood. Even developed countries are also facing that kind of challenge.
Of course.
Then, at the other side again, the activities of human being also is also contributing to flooding. Now, where you have people building on waterways, where you have people cutting down the trees unnecessarily, where you see contractors building roads without adequate drainage system. These are the things that are aggravating flood in most parts of the country. I'm telling you, most of the roads, township roads built in the 90s up to some current situation now in some states, there's no provision of flood, what they call it, drainage system. So like in the city of Kano, for example, a small rain that will just maybe just 100 millimeter, you see that everywhere is over flood, will be taken by flood because drainage system is not there. So now for the community, if you know that, okay, there is a drainage in your area, what they're supposed to do is to come together as a community to clear the drainage and ensure that people don't dump refuse in the waterways.
Now, you mentioned infrastructure, which is roads and drainage systems. Now, how do you think the government can work towards improving those infrastructure to ensure that, they can withstand extreme weather events?
Yes, just as I said earlier, when you are developing roads, you make sure that the government should enforce that people, they call it the contractors, the design of that road, the drainage system is there. That's one. Number two, the community, when you are to build a house, the housing planning, they should ensure that, okay, people that are building houses, they are not building it on waterways. Let me just give an example what happened in Mokwa. I visited the area in March this year. That the houses, there were 2,000 houses that were affected, they were even washed away by the flood. Years back, they were told that where you are building your houses is a waterway. it's a large waterway, what they call it, that volume of water passed there. But because of the climate change, the river dried up. And these people now came and built their houses on the water, on the waterway. So now when the flood now came this year, it washed all their houses. More than 2,000 people were affected. So what government should do and what the community should do is to ensure that we respect the environment, we take adequate precaution, and once we are told that, okay, we should evacuate because there will be possible flood in a particular community, people should immediately leave those areas.
Okay, now can you tell us more about the potentials and potential benefits and challenges of implementing a national flood insurance program in Nigeria?
Insurance policy, yes, but you see, we already have the insurance already on ground.
So is it a working program, or what do we need to do?
Yes, for agriculture, for example, there are insurance for agriculture. Once your farmland is affected by flood, and already you go through the normal process, then agri insurance company will cover you for that.
Okay.
But make sure that, okay, you follow the lay down procedures of what they call it, getting this insurance. Okay. You must make sure that, okay, you do not plant your crop when on waterways. You harvest your crop in good time. So, but if the flood comes as natural occurrence, then the insurance will cover you. Then also our houses too. If you know that, okay, you build a house and you spend millions of naira in putting that structure, just get insurance that will protect you against any environmental challenges.
All right. Now, so Musa Babalu, this is a very daring area to cover. Can you share with us quickly some of your experiences, covering, just like you even started with your experience when you visited Mokwa?
Yes, the challenge most time in covering flood related issues, one is assessing the community. Flood is a disaster. You don't get alert that, okay, this thing will happen at so time. But when you get the information, you want to get there, you want to let the government and the people know that this is what is happening at a particular place. So moving from one location to another to get this information is crucial and also need a sacrifice, if I can put it that way. I remember in 2022, I was in Sokoto when I was called by the office that, okay, there is a flood around Gusau, along Argungu axis and Yauri. And I was directed that, okay, go there, let us get information. We travel from Sokoto to that Argungu, then we follow the flood affected area up to Yauri. From Yauri, we join a canoe up to Kwara State. And we've seen the devastation of flood. So that kind of experience, that kind of situation, we let you understand, we give you the what they call it, knowledge and information and how people are suffering as a result of flooding. And most affected communities are rural communities.
Okay, so thank you so much, Musa, for your insightful information. We do hope to see you again soon on the program, and be safe out there.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All right. We'll take a break now. We'll be right back with more reports. Stay tuned.
Fellow Nigerians, this period may be hard on us, and there is no doubt that it's tough on us. But I urge you all to look beyond the present temporary pains and aim at the larger picture. All our good and helpful plans are in the works. More importantly, I know that they will work.
Welcome back. And now to aviation matters. Now, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority is reminding passengers of prohibited items on board flights as it emphasizes that safety and orderliness are paramount and rules apply to all regardless of status. Aliu Kabir tells us more.
At Nigeria's airports, sharing their experiences, travelers have plenty to say about the rules in the skies and how they are enforced.
Follow the aviation rules, follow the protocol rules. They say you cannot bring in your personal water, your personal everything inside the aircraft. If you want to, you check them in. You understand? But some people will still put cream, put hair cream. But whether you are inside power or you are outside power, you just have to obey the rules if we want this country to move forward.
For many, safety is the bottom line.
Passengers, we should abide by rules and regulations because in the end it's for our own good and for the face and the good of you and then Nigeria. So breaching such protocol doesn't show that you actually care about yourself or others in the aircraft.
These rules set by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority are clear. Explosives, fireworks, matches, and other flammable materials are not allowed. Firearms and ammunition require proper declaration in checked luggage. Sharp objects, toxic chemicals, and other corrosive substances are banned outright. Liquid over 100 milliliters or less sealed in a clear 1-liter bag are prohibited in carry-ons. And damaged lithium battery devices are a no-go. But the NCAA says the rules go beyond baggage. They also govern passengers' conduct.
At every airport is simple. Compliance. The rules are always clear. Come to the airport on time. Have your ticket. Pay for your ticket. Pass through subject yourself to the security and safety checks. Get to the boarding area. Be orderly. Most times people come around thinking that the airport is like every other business environment where you just come and say customer is king. There are limitations to your kingship at the airport. And it is for your own safety, really. It's for your own safety. The rules are there for your safety. So compliance is mandatory in every airport, anywhere across the globe. And I really do wish that Nigerian passengers can become more compliant with the regulations.
Why the agency has called for a full investigation into a music star Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, popularly known as Kwam1, after alleged violation of aviation rules aboard a ValueJet flight on August 5th. The message from Nigeria's aviation regulator is simple. No passenger is above the law. Following the rules is not just about compliance, it is about keeping everyone in the air safe.
Thank you so much, Aliu, for this enlightening report. We urge all passengers to heed the NCAA's safety directives and strictly adhere to the rules for safe, orderly, and enjoyable air travel. And now to the education sector. Reports from Bayelsa State says Nigeria's future workforce demands action as stakeholders call for full implementation of federal government's skills-based curriculum across the country. Ifoma Aihoje reports.
The School to Work scheme approved by the National Council on Education proposes a bold shift, teaching 15 core vocational and digital skills such as styling, garment making, solar installation, bakery, agriculture, and digital literacy right from primary 1 through junior secondary school 3.
I've learned how to make cupcake and many other things, and I would like to use it to make money and finance my education.
When I first came to barbing, I was scared that I would spoil the person's hair. So my teacher told me that I should not be scared, I should just cut there and believe in myself. Today, as long as I can say, I know how to barb certain styles of hair.
My dream right now is just to like qualify for the Nigerian national team and make my country proud. And at the same time, I also like to like go far to play for European teams.
I want to make shoes like you can see we have a brand here named Gucci. I can name my own brand called another name.
They say a child's upbringing is the future. So now as you bring the child up in that way, so the child will be. So as you train them up from just one, they will learn the skill and then they will make money from it, and then who knows where God will take them.
Skill acquisition will reduce all this cyber scamming called Yahoo, because if you can do it and sell it and make money, there will be a more legal means to make money than scamming.
While some pilot programs have begun, especially in privately owned schools, many schools across the country still lack the workshops, trained teachers, and basic tools needed to bring these lessons to life. Hence, the continued advocacy.
Skills acquisition and entrepreneurship education has been incorporated into the curriculum, all with the objective of making these children self-reliant, taking them away from the normal classroom learning to practical skills.
It should be compulsory for every federal school, every state school. Every school should embrace this. If we embrace this, I think in the near future we'll be able to curb this problem of hardship and children looking for white-collar job, because what's in vogue now is everybody being a CEO. And with this skills acquisition, they will be able to get there.
So it's a big development if every school will come together and make one day out of this, their study days as one of that skill day.
In a country where millions of young people face unemployment or underemployment, education must be more than theory. Stakeholders agree on the need to give Nigerian students the power to create jobs, not just apply for them.
There are some of these children that are not really showing forth what they have when it comes to academics, but you see them doing perfectly well, bringing out their God-given talent when it comes to what they know how to do best. So far, I have children that can fly drone by themselves. I have children that can come up with their own scripts.
Look at what I'm wearing. It was made by these kids, this braid. If our kids can make it, why not? When they leave school, they will not only depend on academics, like there's no job, they can be CEOs of their own personal companies.
With this, our schools can key into this kind of program. In years to come, you see that Nigeria will become a capitalist state, and they will also, people will begin to, provide employment for themselves. They will not only depend on the government.
For our children these days, in fact, it's just the way to go. Most times you're out of school and there's nothing to fall back on. But with these things, you see them, they're exhibiting tailoring, barbing, different things, It will really help them and boost them in their future.
Stakeholders across education, civil society, and industry are united in one plea to the government. Don't delay. Make skills part of every Nigerian child's journey and let that journey begin now.
The objective is to make them to be self-reliant. That will lead to reduce unemployment in our nation. It will help in social collaboration. It will also lead to economic development and the building of our nation.
The school-to-work policy of the federal government has been passed. The framework is ready. Now it's all about political will, funding, and timely execution of this initiative that promises to impact positively on the economic stance of the nation in the near future.
Thank you, Ifoma, for highlighting the calls for Nigerian stakeholders and educators for the federal government to fully implement the skills-based curriculum. And with Ifoma's report, we conclude today's program. Thank you for spending your time with us, and do keep a date with us, same time next week. From all of us here, it's bye for now.